Yeah, dude.
Let me switch my mic right now.
It's just really loud.
What were you doing before this? You look like you just got out the shower.
I think he was that. Did you see his tweet about
No.
the hymns, the ED pills? I think he was trying about.
Who's
He's
tweet?
working on that sponsor, Amit. Check Amit's Twitter.
Amit's trying to get us a sponsorship with hymns.
I'll take it.
Amit tweeted. I don't know that something popped up on his Facebook feed, and it was for like erectile dysfunction pills, and he's like, "Yo, Meta, what are you trying to tell me?" And I'm like, "He's working on a sponsor. Take it like seriously."
I'm about to show it right now. This is the infamous tweet. I really think if we get them as a sponsor, bro. I mean,
We all got to try it.
we all gotta
I
try
don't
it.
need it, bro. I'm good. I'm still young enough that
I
don't
know,
need that
right?
shit.
Does it come with a pair of crutches for my wife? I mean, come on, you're a woman.
Nah, you know what?
Crunches for your wife, bro. Oh my
She's
god.
just gonna be hobbling into
My
work
guy.
like
Cocky, literally.
you know what I'm saying?
Nah, dude, you guys know who Big Jaw is on YouTube? He does like comedic skits from California, but he's sponsored by this thing called Blue Chew, and all his videos that has Blue Chew is fucking hilarious, man. He's like, "Yo, I'll bring the meats."
Bro, Flagrant's also sponsored. Andrew Schulz is sponsored by them, and they do such. I mean, so is Mike Matt. There's a bunch of YouTubers
Yeah.
that are sponsored by them.
If you last 5 times longer, I believe your wife leaves you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Bro,
There's
I'm not gonna lie, bro.
sponsored by divorce lawyer.
When I was 18, I remember there was one night I went like 7 times in a row. It was ridiculous. And like, if you ask me to do that now, there's
You
no
and your
way.
hand alone don't count.
No, it wasn't my. It was not
He's
my
like one
hand.
for each finger. No.
No, seriously, it was literally like 7 times in a row. It
Hey,
was-
no way you done fucking rubbed out 7 fucking.
I
like-
was young,
No,
bro.
no,
My
18.
drive
It's
was-
possible. It's
At
possible.
18,
It is. There's a lot of bullets in the gun.
I don't know, buddy. I don't know, man. Seven is a little high number, bro.
Well,
It
just so you
was-
know, right away we go to pee-pee and poopy jokes.
It's
Remember that one
instantaneously.
comment? That comment yesterday was like, guys, let's never start the podcast like this again. And Vitaly was like, nope, we're definitely gonna start.
Nope.
it.
Immediately.
Pretty much going to talk about this all the time now.
I can't do 7 now. I could, but back then I remember it was in Georgia. Chris, we were in your hometown. I remember where I was. It was
Max
in-
4.
It was on Emory. It was Emory's
Oh.
campus. I was there for.
Riza makes a good point. Can you swap Chris and I? Because Chris is
Yeah.
looking off the edge of the corner.
There we go.
Woo.
Okay, I have a question. Okay, so I want to start this off with a question. Why do taxes exist? Okay, because
Good question.
I just got my tax guy who sent. I thought I not made up. I made sure there were enough expenses for this damn LLC that I have, my personal LLC, and he comes back with more taxes that I have to pay than I paid last year. And I'm like, I made slightly more than I made last year, but I definitely put more expenses, and the standard deduction is larger than it was last year.
Vitaly,
Did
you
you
see
move-
this?
did you
He's
move
turning
it
into a
to-
Republican.
Did you? No,
He
this is
would-
going to turn you.
you know
Wait,
what?
wait till
Everybody
wait
becomes
till
a
you,
Republican.
yeah, wait till you're making income. Wait till your income at 35 is taxed at
Yeah,
like 40%.
yeah.
Then you're going to be
He
like,
went-
yo, man, we got to put you guys on a budget.
Yeah, he went from
It's
Bernie, bro,
ridiculous.
to Trump in like a couple of tax seasons, bro. What
Yeah, and a
happened?
few $1,000s. Yeah, a few points.
I was ready to move states to save on taxes. Okay.
No, I don't like this whole tax nonsense thing. This is not interesting to me. This is like I don't.
You
I don't like-
don't how much did you even have to pay in taxes, bro? When you make in the 6 figures and you got to start paying taxes. That's rough. Imagine 40 to 50% of your income going to taxes,
6
and then on
figures.
top of it.
He's in the high 4 figures right now.
4 fingers.
I'm in the. I mean, I'll tell it. 'Cause I made like 50K last year, my personal LLC with everything. So
Yeah.
on top of that, I thought I had enough expenses, and I thought it was gonna be like a couple thousand less than what he showed me on the tax return, and I'm just like, fuck, I can't
Well,
argue with him.
Hold on. No. He tells you a number and then you go back to him. I got a couple more expenses.
Oh, I don't have, bro. I would be stretching if I try to find some more expenses. Like,
Just
You
go
know-
to the parking lot of any place.
Bro, you need
Get
to
some
shop
receipts.
around for a better accountant then. You know what? Because my
You
accountant
shouldn't be
usually
paying,
tells
honestly,
me,
at 50,000, you
Yeah.
shouldn't be paying taxes. You shouldn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, but they do, and the government takes,
Well,
unfortunately,
here's
from people
here's
who
a
shouldn't be.
question.
You're right.
It's
here's a
not
question.
fair,
Did you
but-
put any money into like a Roth, in a traditional IRA, a Roth, any retirement
year-
funds?
last year, no.
Last year, no. So
No.
see, you're a business, you should be doing that because now you can deduct, you can put in
You
money.
deduct the 6,500 from that.
No. So there is I have to look it up based on what it is, but you can do, I think, even a 401k plan that's self-managed with you as the employee can put in money, and then you as the employer can put in money also, because you only have, you need a better accountant, dude. The accountants can
Your
really
accountant
give you
sucks.
yeah.
What about?
I-
Well, let me ask you. Did you do your 6,500 max for the IRA?
Not yet. No.
Why?
Well, you only have until the 18th. You better do
I
it right
know,
now.
Yeah.
I know. I'm setting it up on Robinhood. I was looking at it yesterday.
No, you got to do it now, and then that deducts from your income.
But
that
not-
take away
not a
another
Roth.
$6,500, which is
At-
2,000
at
in
your-
taxes.
At your age, you shouldn't be doing traditional, because your income wouldn't even be that big of a difference. Like, you wouldn't pay that much. If you're making, let's say, 200K, then well, actually, even then you'd hit limits on IRAs.
Wait, but this
now-
6,500, it'll make a dent in the income I show. Like it's
A Roth
Around
IRA,
around $2,000.
well, Roth IRA, he won't be able to deduct anything.
That's what I was
right?
saying.
I was saying
yeah.
traditional. Do traditional.
Yeah, traditional. If you do traditional, you'll be able to deduct a few.
But
Little,
isn't
like a
the whole
few.
point
Yeah.
to do a Roth IRA, not a traditional.
If you're not making that much money, a Roth is better, because
Yeah.
what happens is the money that you're going to save on your upper part of your tax is not going to be as high. So let's say if I make $50,000 and I put in money into a traditional, it's not that big of a benefit, because most of that money is going to be taxed at a rate that's like 10 to 20% max. Whereas if I'm making, let's say, 150,000 and I put 60, put it into a IRA, then it makes a traditional IRA, then it makes a big difference, because that entire 6 that I put in ends up going and bringing my income down from 140 to taxable of like 144. So that's what it would be. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. I showed him how much I made. I showed him a decent amount of expenses, and he took the standard deduction. You guys are saying I have a bad accountant. What else?
Yeah,
could he
because
have
first
done?
of all, why would you
What
do
else could he have
standard?
done?
You could have done an itemized deduction.
I did.
You-
No, he did the
no.
standard deduction. That's 12,950, and I gave him an itemized deduction of all.
No. You pick one or the other. You can't.
Yeah,
do
you
both.
can't do both.
I thought it was pick one or the other. You do both. Apparently, you're allowed to do both.
You know
That's
what?
the
I'm not a tax accountant, but I don't think you're allowed to.
I
do
thought
both.
you had to pick one or the other, but actually, you're allowed to do both. Apparently, that's a thing, or maybe I'm wrong on this. But
I
last
think
year,
you're wrong.
maybe I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Did you file 2 tax returns, one for your business and one for your individual self?
No, it's just for my LLC. It's just I pay
you-
self-employment tax. That's
Are
it.
you an LLC or you an S corp?
LLC,
C corp?
that's it.
Okay, so you are an LLC.
So I
Maybe you wanna-
literally, I don't even pay myself a salary. That LLC is just what I pay taxes on.
Are you?
That's
Are
it.
you did
Right.
well. You don't pay any rent, right? You don't pay any.
That's the
How
thing.
many
You
days,
don't
right?
have any of those big tickets.
Well, let's not talk about it. But there is some
No shit.
some expenses there. Anyway,
Okay, well, you can actually deduct part of that as a home office type of a thing.
no, I
but you
did.
have
That's what
to-
bro. I put a lot of expenses in there, and
Well,
it's
like every
still-
time you go out to dinner, that's a
I
business.
put the
expense.
food,
You're
bro. I
talking
put.
dinner every-
I got a ton of shit there. That's why I'm like, I can't stretch for more, because then I'm literally lying if I stretch for more. Like I can't do that.
How much did you pay your accountant? Let's find out. Maybe that'll determine what happens.
Did you pay the accountant more than you paid the hookers last year? That's the question.
No. Just how much did you pay the accountant? Did you pay him like $200, or did you pay him like $1,000?
It was like $200. Yeah.
That's
There you
why-
go, that's
That's
your
why you're getting
problem.
standard
No, that's why.
deductions.
Yeah.
My taxes, I'm paying the guy like $3,000 to just do my taxes.
There you go.
And he's
Kelly's asking about the Kelly's asking. So Aldea taxes are totally different from my LLC. Aldea didn't have to be anything. Aldea hasn't made any money. We just showed expenses. But my LLC, like I made YouTube money, some Patreon money, right? I had a consulting firm before I quit my job. So I had money this year that I made, but fucking, I thought I would pay like a lot less than I'm gonna have to pay. I'm gonna message him back tomorrow though and be like, yo,
Well, now you're learning all those.
How about
you
you
know,
message
all
him?
that
You're
free
fired.
stuff, all that socialism.
Step into my virtual office. You're fired.
See,
are you? So I'm assuming you all are paying like close to 6 figures in taxes. Or-
not 6 figures. No,
Paid a
no,
lot.
no.
Okay.
I paid a good amount. I haven't. No, but not 6 figures, dude.
No.
Not unless you were like buying and selling constantly. I think that's, you know what? Let's talk about that in the finance junkies, because I think that's worth it. One of the things is that
Isn't
if
that
you're
what
one of
this
those
is?
people, yeah,
Wait,
no, that's
where,
what I'm saying.
where am I?
If you are constantly jumping in and out of the market, that's one of those things that's going to be terrible for you, because you're going to have to pay a shit ton in taxes, because every time
Not
you
unless
make
you're
those
losing money on
gains,
Palantir.
that's true.
Well,
but
that,
not a-
actually, that's true. If you were to sell your
I
Palantir
didn't
position
sell. I
like
didn't-
December last year, and then buy it back this year, roughly the same price, which I think Vitaly and I did recommend people that want a tax loss
I think
harvest.
you recommended that.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you're sitting on 12,000 in losses, you might as well take that. Well, but then again, but those capital gains losses don't offset all your taxes. It's not like he can.
My recommendation was not to buy back.
Or you should wait until there's something called a wash rule where you wait 30 days. Because if you
30
wait
days,
30 days, you don't have to worry about all the additional burden that you're going to get on it. So, yep.
Johnny's right. Trading in a Roth IRA. It's
Yeah.
tax free.
Guys, we have in a long time we have Kelly who's in the chat. She hasn't been
Okay.
here, I think, for like months.
Well, I've been burned by her.
Well,
so
what did you
it's
say to
over.
her? I mean, what did you say to her?
Shout out to Kelly. Thank you for being here. Shout out to 176 people being here. I'm about to tweet this right now that we are live.
Oh yeah, we didn't tweet this.
Yeah, finance. You guys got to tweet it. I'll retweet it.
Yeah.
I tweeted it already.
I just
I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Should have done that, I guess. Oh, can you guys hit like and subscribe right now so we don't have to beg
Yeah.
later?
Yes, please do that. All right, we got some breaking news about Elon Musk. Apparently, the dude has decided that Twitter.com doesn't exist anymore.
No, Twitter.com is it. I'm on Twitter.com right now.
I mean, Twitter Inc. doesn't exist anymore. So Elon Musk has officially renamed. He has filed with the SEC to rename Twitter as X Corp.
It's a subsidiary now of X Corp.
It's a subsidiary of X Holdings Corp. What do we think of this? What's the dealio here? What is he?
Wait, what does it say at the bottom? No publicly traded corporation owns 10% or more of the stock. Interesting. So
I mean,
like, take
who
that,
cares?
Vanguard and BlackRock.
Who cares where he wants to lose money? Twitter.com or X.com? What's the difference?
I don't know, man. I think this is going to be a big play for him. I mean, he's
Yeah, this is a
developing he's developing infrastructure around other things, but I wouldn't hold this guy back. He knows. First of all, you got to remember, he started in the software world. He didn't start as a hardware maker. So he knows this entire industry. So I think we're likely to see payments eventually get filtered into this. And then on top of it, advertising gets put into this. And yeah, I think Musk has got a bigger plan than most people think. Like, he's going to get his money back. He is going to get his 44 billion back.
Mhm.
Like, the guy's determined.
Whether it takes him 60 billion or not, he's going to get his money.
Yeah.
He bought
first
puts
of all,
on,
I believe
on-
he's
on
gonna
the-
make
he
it.
bought puts on his own company.
Yeah. I have no doubt Elon Musk is one person who will absolutely get his money back and triple it or quadruple it.
But I
have
mean,
no
but think
doubt
about what you're saying there, dude. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, of
Like
course.
44
It's a
billion
triple
for
44 billion.
another company. That's a fuck ton of money to make. Not to say that he can't do it, but what I'm saying, when we say it so nonchalantly that he's going to make that back, he's going to generate $44 billion. Like, some companies never generate that in a lifetime.
I know, but we know Tesla will generate way more than that. So
Sure.
So I mean, he can fund Twitter until it does generate.
So there's
that.
this question that's been floating around the Tesla community about Tesla. Ross Gerber has been really pushing it. Tesla should start advertising like heavily.
I've been fighting with him
No.
on all my Twitter accounts. That is the dumbest thing.
I think
Uh,
it's
I
a one.
just
I
saw
think it's a one-way fight with you and him.
The latest.
I-
Tesla-
Is he
hold on,
responding?
I'm
I
punching.
want to get
up.
your take on it, but look at the latest Tesla tweet. It got I'm trying to find the video. Okay, I remember the number. If I can't find the video, we'll show it. It got 73 million impressions. Oh, here it is. Here it is. 70. The Cybertruck crowd. You know how many companies would pay like hundreds of thousands
for that
these
many
things?
impressions. Yeah.
75 million views organically posting it. Now, maybe Elon told his engineers to juice up the algorithm, but regardless, even if he did, who cares, right?
No, with that truck, he didn't need to. As soon as you saw that thing, people
probably
haven't seen, and they made sure to show that bottom angle, that angle, so you can see the the upper control arms and the suspension. They're not stupid. They know exactly what they were doing. What they don't understand is Tesla does advertise. It's just this. They
Yeah,
don't
I mean,
understand.
dude,
they want to
know
do traditional advertising.
You know how many YouTube channels exist to basically advertise Tesla? Like, literally all they do is talk about Tesla. So they have so much organic reach already. It would be a diminishing return to try to put it. It's the same argument that all these people make. We're like, oh, you know what? Tesla should sell to dealerships. And Elon's like, why am I going to bring middlemen into this? Like, I could just pass on the savings to the consumer. Why have $100 million ad campaign on a product that everyone already knows about? Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Well, that was his answer to Whole Mars catalog, who was responding to Ross. And he was saying, like, every dollar we spend in advertising has to increase the cost of the vehicles, and the goal is to make them cheaper. And then Ross wrote back, but no, it would only increase the ASP by $25 per vehicle, and it's worth it. And his thing is, it's not there's not a demand problem here. It's not an awareness problem. It's a money, right? It's the price of the vehicle. I literally had this conversation with a buddy of mine today who just moved to LA. He wants to buy a car, and he was like, "Hey, can you recommend a hybrid?" I was like, "You're not buying a hybrid, or if you buy one, we're not friends anymore." And so we went past that, and he was like, "Okay, so what should I get? A Tesla? They're too expensive." And I literally went on the website, and I was like, Model 3 standard range, $9,500 in incentives. It's 28 grand. After
how's it $9,500 in
because
California?
you get an extra 2,000 in California. So the 18th, you get an extra 2,000 on top of the 7,500. And when you factor in the savings of gasoline over, say, over the life of the loan, he's gonna have like a $400 payment on the $28,000 Model 3. Yeah. And he was like, I didn't think. I was like, yeah, you really should research. And he was like, what other EVs should I get instead? I was like, honestly, I can't recommend another one.
If Tesla has the money, what is the bear case to not spend $100 million on ads? Like, how could it hurt them? I guess.
How would it help them if everyone that can afford?
It's very simple. If they
advertising
are selling, but hold on, it's very simple. If they're selling all the cars they can produce without advertising, they don't need to advertise. As soon as that can't happen, I bet you anything Elon is advertising. Simple as that.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. He'd rather just pass the savings on to people right now, and at some point, though, it won't be enough because you can't sell 10 million cars without advertising. That's not going to happen.
Or 10 million at that price point. And his thing is too is it's monetization in the future. Even if he sells it at cost, even if he was selling them at cost, the potential upselling of the customers. It's like when we rent a property, right? Even if you rent it at $100 over what the mortgage is, you're still making money. Yeah, in the long run.
I mean, the thing is, though, most people, when they do their advertising, they're trying to do brand awareness. They're trying to do product awareness, right? I don't think Tesla has a problem with either of those things right now. I mean, I could see it in the international segments if they were to do more advertising, because outside of the US, there's probably a lot less people that are like, oh my God, a Tesla electric car, it has X, Y, and Z. But in the US, I think the market in terms of knowing the company and knowing the brand is kind of saturated. Outside of the US, maybe not so much. So if they're going to do advertising, I would say focus on the biggest bang for the buck. So it'd be in places like in South America. Like South America, I think is a big opportunity for them. And that's why they're probably building Mexico out right now. They're likely to build out the infrastructure, like the charging stations down there. Same thing with Central and South America. So I think in other countries, Tesla definitely should do more marketing, but in the US, it's probably not necessary. But
FaceTime home, sorry. Bro. More competition from other EVs as well. Yeah, that's not true. I mean, Carlos, when's the last time you bought two of the same car, basically? I bought a Model Y that was white for the wife. 2 years later, I bought a black one, okay, for myself. Who does that? No. Nobody does that.
Well, but people do that. Like my friends, they would both drive a Mercedes or they both drive a BMW. Okay, that does happen.
Maybe I've never bought two of the same car. I've always changed cars. Even if it's like in the same brand, I'd go to a different car. Do you know what I'm saying? Like even if it's like a Nissan, I'd pick a different one. But not this. I'm like, Model Y is a great car. Why would I even?
Yeah.
I just think of the safety. I mean, honestly, if you come back down to did you see the interview with
Franz? It's the charging network, the safety,
just literally the safety. If I'm like, if I would have get another EV to save a couple of bucks, and God forbid something happens and my kid gets into an accident, I will not forgive myself if I don't put them in the absolute safest thing. I just can't. So that's it. It's set for me. That's it. It's settled.
Yeah. Yep.
Did you guys do any buying today? Do you have any reason why the market shot up after hours? Like a teenager, like me when I was 18. Like why did it
shoot up 7 times?
7 times. It was like power hour after power hour after
I don't think that's the terminology for ejaculating.
Shot up.
But like, why do you think
shot out? No?
It reversed? Do you think the market's factoring a CPI is going to be good on Wednesday, and they're kind of?
I wasn't even paying attention honestly today. I'm too busy working.
I was busy working too. I was thinking about buying, but I'm like, it's kind of high, but like a local highs. I feel like we're getting. Somebody knows something about CPI. Yeah, this could be buy the rumor, sell the news. Like the day that it comes out, the report's really good, and then tank.
I actually was selling a little bit actually today. I've got a lot of winners this last couple of months, and so it's just smart to just take a little bit of money off the top. So that's what I did. I took a little bit of money off the top on some of my really big winners, like Meta. I sold some of those calls that I had. Not to say that there's still isn't more room to run. It's just that if there is a pullback, I want some liquid capital on hand. I'm looking at Tesla. It did climb down, but it didn't hit the level that I needed it to get back in. So if it goes below 175, I'll probably start edging back into Tesla very slowly. Yeah, but other than that, I've just been cautious. I think the market's like really hit a stride in the last few months, but a lot of it is whenever I see too many people going uber bullish, I always know that, hey, you know what, maybe things are going to be coming around that'll knock us down a peg. So yeah, I think right now is a good time to just be a little bit more cautious. I wouldn't necessarily be adding to a lot of my positions, especially if they've had run-ups in the last like 90 days. Like, yeah, like Meta is a good example.
Fudd Parker's saying that Tesla wicked to 176 today.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
And actually, what's his name? Daniel McMendez has a good point. Institutions are shorting big right now.
Yeah. Makes sense. I mean, valuations have definitely reset a little bit. I mean, this is where the market is, volatility right now. We're not in a bull market. We're not in a bear market. We're in a kangaroo market, right? Where basically it's like, bad news, okay, market jumps up, and then good news, and then market comes down, and then the good news, it's just back and forth. This volatility is not good. Well, I mean, it's good if you're willing to trade in and out here and there, but it's not good if you're like focused on the super long-term investing. Like, look at Enphase right now. Enphase went at one point to like 212, 220, and then came back down to like 180s. Like, what is it trading at right now?
197. I was actually just looking at it right now.
Yeah,
197.
So it's one of those things. These Uber price swings are not a big thing for me. Like right now, I'm looking at industries that are not loved as much because I think there's a lot of opportunity where people are missing out on. Like for me right now, it's office REITs. But I'm very selective about my office REITs that I'm buying. I'm not buying every office REIT that's out there. I think for me, SLG, which is SL Green, is a good one. They've got good financials. They've been in positions like this in the past. They know how to navigate the market. They've got relationships with a lot of PE firms. So it just makes sense to be in an industry that's not as loved right now. Yeah, and it's just, I think we've hit a lot of positive news, and there might be a bump in the road. I'm not saying that we're probably going to end up, going down to like S&P to 3,000, but I just don't think that we're in a great shape right now in terms of valuation. Valuations reset to the high point. So,
I think we're approaching that sell in May. I mean, look where we are. We're getting real close. We're getting real close. People are. I mean, even if you just look at Enphase's chart, look at Enphase. It's crazy. You look at Enphase's chart. This level is such a level of support, and it did almost the same thing till May last year. I think you're right. I think we're just in a bunch of chop until May, where I think it tanks.
The one thing that's going to be interesting is seeing the earnings come out in the next couple of weeks. Was this is the
tomorrow?
Tesla
and Netflix tomorrow.
Yeah, no, wrong. Netflix is April 18th, from what I understand.
It tomorrow. Hold on a minute.
Yeah,
we'll talk about Netflix, but yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying earnings right now. This will be the first quarter where we've had substantial amount of time after the rate rises and also after layoffs and everything else. So I think in the short term, those layoffs are going to impact earnings, because what typically happens is you lay people off, which is hard, but then you have all the costs related to laying people off get factored into those few quarters, right? So if you look at like the Amazon, they laid off so many people. Meta, they laid off so many people. You're paying out severance, you're paying out benefits, all this other shit that usually happens. So all those things are going to get added into your earnings, and your earnings may not look as appetizing, which means that the market might tank the stock in the short term. But I don't know how much of that is even factored in. So I don't know.
All right, what do you think about Netflix? It's in 8 days. They're expecting revenue of $8 billion. I know none of us probably would be buying it right now, but any expectations on this company? It is a big tech stock.
I was thinking about Netflix today, that because I was looking at everybody else. And I think they're the clear winner in the streaming wars. I mean, I know it's continuing, but Disney Plus has shit the bed. So I don't think that's a real
Put in the chat,
competitor
by the way,
anymore.
which one you spend your most time on? Which streaming network? Go ahead.
Say it again.
I said put in the chat which one you watch the most.
And I've been watching more Netflix. Like I said, I've been watching some YouTubers just recommend good content on Netflix that I ignore all the time. And it just has the most variety of any actual streaming platform. So am I bullish in terms of buying it? No, but I think it's the best.
Why wouldn't you buy
it's the best game in town.
Best.
Well, once again, if it is a media company, I'm still not sure whether they can expand out into games and do all these other things. I'm not positive about that. So I don't want to buy a media company, unless they pay a dividend. So Viacom, I had Viacom for a while, and they're paying a dividend.
That's where I think they're going with it.
If they're going there, that's great. But if they actually do expand into gaming and do all these things that they're supposed to be doing, that they say they're going to do, and advertising models and freemium, they might have another, easy double, triple coming up. But I don't know about that. I'm not as confident about that. So that's why I still have my 5 shares. I've never sold my 5 shares. And I'll probably keep those.
What's your average? What's your average on the 5 shares?
I don't know, like 400 or 500.
Okay, gotcha.
It wasn't
I'm
that
actually
much
more
money.
bullish. I'm actually more bullish on Paramount. Paramount has a lot of great shows on
You're
it.
bullish on
A
Paramount.
lot of people. Yep.
He's like CBS. It's coming back.
No,
I got a free trial to Paramount Plus just to see what they had.
Yeah.
And they didn't have that much.
Yeah. He's like Peacock.
No, dude.
That's the winner.
No, you got Tulsa
what did
King.
Paramount have that you wanted to watch?
Tulsa King. Tulsa King's awesome. There's like a bunch, man. Yellowstone.
Actually, HBO. HBO Max is pretty good. That's also good.
HBO's good too. Yeah.
So I think it's Netflix and HBO Max. I think they're the clear winners here.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm still bullish YouTube long term because again, even if Netflix has good content,
it's not the same thing. No one's going to drop their Netflix subscription for YouTube subscription. You can have both if you want that. That's not going to be one or the other. It's not the same thing.
This was the eternal battle, the fight that we had about Netflix versus YouTube versus.
If Netflix allowed people to upload their own videos, I think it would be very interesting, bro. I think.
Yeah, but that would be a fundamental shift from Netflix's.
I know.
It's not to say that they could not have a space. Imagine if they did that, where they had a space and it was almost like a proving ground, and then you can move up to the.
Like all these comedians, they pay like $10 million for their special. Why can't they just have them upload their podcast to Netflix as like talk shows or whatever? That's like, I mean, that's like content that's user generated, but you probably don't have to pay that much for it. Especially now they have the ads model, they could just monetize it with ads and give a cut to the creators. What do you guys think about what Spotify is going to do with Joe Rogan? You think they're going to re-up him another couple $100 million, or you think Netflix might step in and buy Joe Rogan and make like a little Netflix audio app so people could listen to it? What do you think?
I don't think they're doing an audio app. I don't think that's in the plan.
Yeah, like I don't know about the audio thing, man. Like even
I don't think the audio thing's gonna work.
I don't know. I don't think Netflix would create a dedicated audio app. I think they would just like make a shitty template so that people could listen to Joe Rogan as a podcast, like the people who care about it. But like Joe Rogan is a show. It's an experience at the end of the day, right? Joe Rogan experience. People want to watch it. And so Netflix buying Joe Rogan for $200 million is nothing for Netflix.
I mean, they might do it. They paid, what's his name? Who is the host? The CBS
Letterman.
host? David Letterman. They paid him to do the show for like 10 episodes or whatever.
I think they should buy Joe Rogan's catalog. That'd be, and Netflix likes the controversy. They like Dave Chappelle. They like all the, misinformation, quote unquote stuff. Like,
they got a lot of blowback off the Dave Chappelle thing. It wasn't easy for them to really woke company.
Was it? Because at the end of the day, Ted Serrano said "fuck you." I mean, that's basically what he.
But it took a second. Then they were kind of like, enough.
Yeah.
Get back to work. Like, you know what I mean? They were like, all right. Everybody get back to work. Enough.
Yeah.
Enough.
Best idea ever. Odia should get Joe.
Oh man, we should offer. Well, Joe, we'll give
offer
you
him $250,000 right now.
we'll give you 5 pennies.
That's his lunch money.
I'll jerk you off 7 times.
He's like, I was 18. I lasted 7 times.
I'll give you a hand job at that parlor Chris is talking about.
I actually think they're going to expand their live offerings. I think that's something where
you think that's how Netflix grows.
Well, they did the Chris Rock thing.
Yeah, that turned out well.
Yo, did you guys watch it? Did you guys think it was funny? Chris Rock?
I mean, I caught bits and pieces of it. I forgot what else was going on that day.
It's not bad. I mean,
but I think that's kind of where they want to go. It's a smart move because like that's a little tougher to pull off, but I think ultimately it's just cheaper for them in the long run to produce a live special than do all that time that they spend doing post. Because if you do it the other way, you still have to pay all that money to shoot something, and then you have to do post production. So
you guys heard of Steam, right? Imagine Netflix buys Steam and actually does get into gaming.
I mean, that would be someone I think has to buy Steam. Like,
Maybe
I don't know that
someone
Steam's just going to stay.
Why does someone?
Independent.
Wait, no,
Because
doesn't HTC own Steam?
HTC?
No, the Vive?
No.
I'm not sure about that.
Let me look that up. I don't
Who
think
owns
so.
Steam? Yeah.
But
But,
I bought plenty of games off of Steam, and if Netflix owned it, I would still be buying plenty of games off of Steam.
Oh, it's Valve. That's right.
Valve owns it. Okay.
Valve,
So
that's right.
Valve and Valve HTC, right? So I'm pretty sure they own it, but whatever.
That's pretty good.
Did you guys see the Super Mario Brothers movie? I loved it. I saw it. It was
I heard it
great.
was great from all the reviews
Yeah.
and the 377 million or so that
Yeah.
they made, which is that's interesting.
Well-
That it took Mario like 30, 40 years to make some money
Well, from what
for
I'm
a movie.
hearing,
For a movie.
from what I'm hearing, like they wanted to go very woke with it, but Nintendo, being the Japanese company they are, said no, absolutely not. We're not going to do this woke shit. And one of the reasons that I think Mario was successful is that they didn't put like an overtly like woke messaging in the whole movie. You know, like it
Wait,
felt
what's the movie
natural.
about? Can you explain?
I don't think that's why, man.
Wait, you don't know Super Mario?
No, I know. I played the game, but like, what's the plot? Oh, so he's trying to save the princess. The whole movie.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Princess
Like,
Peach, man. It's always
yeah.
the same story.
Whenever they
Yeah.
make the first game, it's usually like a live action version of the first game of the series, just to
Now-
establish that.
I think the reason it's making money is because we haven't seen something like it in a while. We've seen 1,000 superhero movies, right? We've
Mhm.
seen Star Wars, billion Star Wars come out, but we haven't seen Super Mario come out properly for a long
Right.
time.
Well, the thing is, when it comes to like animated movies, right? Like you had the Toy Story 2 movie come out. You had a lot of things that were super popular back in the day, but have lost a lot of traction with people. Like people have gone a little bit dark with the messaging and saying, look, I get that you're trying to promote certain messages of diversity and inclusion when it comes to like gay and lesbian characters in there, right? But a lot of people are not exactly too kind with that and saying, look, I get that what you're trying to do, but don't put that messaging in like children's like in something that's meant for children and young adults, you know? So that's where a lot of families have kind of been shying away from it. And it's one thing to like show a little bit of it, but then make it into like an overt kind of thing. That's when a lot of people like are turned off to it. So I think this might actually be a renaissance moment for animated movies, where animated movies actually, believe it or not, do way more than some even live action movies. Like you look at like the Minions, right? Minions did, I think, almost how many billions of
That's because
dollars?
they went viral on TikTok.
No, that's not the only reason. But I'm saying like, the
So
whole
that's a lot of money.
the whole genre. I mean, and now if you think about it, you combine like things like ChatGPT and AI into it, the cost of production is probably way lower than what it was back in the day, where you had to actually do like animatronics.
Well, it was
and all
100
this
million
other
to
stuff.
make this Mario movie.
Yo,
so
you
it
pull
wasn't-
up some of those videos that we were sending on the WhatsApp that was like AI generated. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
we can't share those videos.
text to movie, not that.
Those videos are private.
Carlos.
Not
Can we
those
send
videos,
those
not the gifs.
Our favorite Twitter, what is it? Tits and stocks.
Hey, why are you giving away our favorite Twitter channel? Jesus Christ, Chris. With his,
This
first
is
he tells us he got a
Vitaly's
handy
favorite
in Canada.
This WhatsApp is just filled with these gifts that
Yeah, just
I'm not
the,
complaining.
the
It's
gifts
Carlos,
that
bro.
keep
It's
on gifting.
Carlos. It's
No,
Carlos
I
that
meant like
discovers-
the AI ones, the ones about like text to movie, where the guy was like, "Make me a Star Wars movie that's this," and it just generates.
Actually,
Oh, okay.
Zelda,
Okay, hold
Zelda
on.
would be amazing. I agree. I want to see Zelda.
Yeah.
Zelda
playing
would be
Zelda.
amazing. Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
actually think AI is gonna create like a full scale movie one day? Like, cause
Definitely.
bro,
I
a
wonder.
full scale 2-hour movie, I don't know if
Yeah.
AI can do that. Like,
Why is that out of the realm? Why is it out of the realm? If it can create even one shot, if I can tell a computer to make even one shot,
Yeah, why can't it make
why
10,000?
can't it do enough shots strung together to make a movie?
I feel like the only people that could do that are like people that have supercomputers that could like get a 2-hour film across. I don't know. I don't think
No,
that,
I mean, dude, the amount of power, the compute power has increased so much, like to the point, like, the Apple Watch is
but like a
watch
good
is
movie,
stronger
bro.
than the
Not just a
computer reviews.
watchable, not just like a it matches the script, but like it actually is reasonably good. The characters look like they're supposed to look like. All that stuff is.
Well, the thing is, some of the worlds have already been built, so all you have to really do is take the stuff that's already existing and just reformat it to like a movie. Like, here's an example. Like, think of Grand Theft Auto. How cool would that be? A Grand Theft Auto movie. You know?
Actually, I've been saying that for a while. About
That'd
playing
be
it.
so freaking awesome.
I would
man.
love to see a Grand Theft Auto movie.
Yeah.
You know what I think? I think that we are going to see the merging. We even talked about this on that Netflix podcast, the merge of video games and movies. So like your Grand Theft Auto movie will not be a movie in theaters. It'll be a downloadable experience that you on like a headset, you put it on and you just play.
Wait, are we in VR
like
in
that.
this experience?
I think so. I think so. I think that's where it's going.
He's so funny.
You know which live action though that's based on movie that I'm super excited for? Warhammer 40K. Henry Cavill is actually going to be, I think, directing it, and he might actually play a part in it too. So I don't know if you guys are
the cancer thing.
Wait, Henry Cavill has cancer?
Oh yeah, didn't he? He studies not making movies anymore.
Superman, what?
Yeah,
Superman?
hold on. Let me
Henry
fact
Cavill
check.
doesn't have cancer. No, he
Hold
quit.
on. Let me fact check myself.
Yeah, which is annoying. I love The Witcher. He was so good in that.
Yeah,
that's really.
Yeah, he did. He quit it because of that. Hold on.
Well, no, yeah, I think he quit because
cancer. It was he has it might be Alzheimer's or something.
I thought he quit because he had another job that was going to happen.
No. He found out he has a disease. I'm thinking of it's the same guy. He found out he has a disease.
We know too much about Henry Cavill at this point.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Yeah.
Have you guys seen RRR? What is this?
No.
The Indian movie. I can't believe you haven't seen that
Oh,
movie.
I've heard of this. Yeah.
The one that got an Oscar?
No, I have. I've seen ads for this. I haven't watched it. No.
I heard it was crazy.
Bro, the only Indian movies I watch are like Kal Ho Na Ho, Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum. I watched the old
bro. That's the old school Indian ass movies, bro.
Shit, bro. I love the old shit.
Yeah.
Creative differences.
All right. Moving on. Well, let's do questions because
No, we got one more topic, then we'll go to questions. Okay,
Oh,
so you guys start putting your questions in the chat.
CPI predictions for CPI. Let's do that.
I was gonna do a cooler topic. Well, okay.
What's your cooler? Well, let's pick. What's the other topic?
Alibaba enters ChatGPT fray. So basically, Alibaba has their own ChatGPT, and they're putting it in all of their business operations. So it's a broader topic about China competing.
But wait, so it talks. It talks to you.
It literally does ChatGPT, but the Chinese version of it, and it's going to be in Baidu. It's going to be in their Echo like smart speakers that are not Amazon Echo Smart. I guess the question is, do you think China could come up with a competing ChatGPT that's potentially better than ChatGPT?
They've always done that. They've imitated every single product that you could think about. Why would this be any different? You know, they like think about it. Google comes out, they have Baidu, right? We come up with Amazon, they come up with JD, right? eBay is like technically like a merger between Alibaba and that. They pretty much do what we do, but they make it to their own specifications and make it something of their own. Now the question is going to be: is the AI going to let them criticize the CCP?
That's the question. That's a good question.
There's no way that it's.
There's no way, right? There's no fucking way.
No, it will. It'll allow you to do it, and then they'll send police right to your house to take you to the local concentration camp. That's what they're gonna do.
I mean, we're laughing about it, but that's damn true.
Yeah.
All right, you guys can put your questions in the chat, and then we'll do.
I think the bigger danger with AI, especially in the context of China, is that they already have
CCP. That's funny.
CCP.
Can I give Ryan Evers $5?
Yeah, dude, you win the comment of the day, bro. That was awesome.
That was comment of the day.
If we mention your comments, just do a super chat for us.
Kelly
Alex just cares about money, bro. His whole mind is like,
am I the only Jew here?
Oh my goodness,
bro! I'm good Jew, okay? Like we are the Jews of India.
By the way, I'm actually Jewish, so I can say that. I just want to point that out.
And I am a good Jew, so I can say that too. I'm just saying, yeah.
Shalom, thank you. It was Passover. Yeah. Nobody said happy Passover
Easter.
to me.
I love how you can make, bro. If me and Carlos made that joke, anti-Semitic.
Yeah, well, you can't. You're not Jewish. I had a bar mitzvah. I'm allowed to say anything about the Jews.
That's why
I'm kind of an honorary Jew. I do a lot of things that only like I don't eat.
He's like, you know how many Jews I fucked?
Yeah, you know how many Jews I've been inside. I don't. At the camp that I met you, Vitaly. One of my kids.
He worked at a Jewish camp. Did I even tell you? We met at a Jewish camp.
I met him working at a Jewish camp.
I'm like, what the fuck is this going?
Why is he drinking a Malta? But we were like one of our first days of camp. They did barbecues. They would take us to this place in Staten Island and do barbecues. And one of my kids, Artem, somebody was asking for cheese, and he was like, "Ew, you don't put cheese on the burgers. That's eating the mother and its milk." And I was like, this kid just spit some facts. I was like, that's horrible. And from that day, I was like, I'll never, ever eat cheese on a burger.
Wait, hold on. So you don't eat cheeseburgers?
I eat cheeseburgers.
Wait, hold on. You got to, why don't you eat cheeseburgers? What's the
Because
reason?
it is eating the mother with its milk. It's disgusting. It's like, that just made so much sense to me that you don't do that. So I don't eat it. But I compensate with bacon.
So he puts bacon. He puts bacon on the
right. You can put the swine on top of it, but you can't. It just makes sense.
You don't eat any cheese products.
I don't really like, except on pizza. Not really. I don't do a lot of cheese. No.
But the mother with the children.
It's the idea that like you get milk.
Do you not know where milk
from
comes
the cow?
from?
Guys, skipping ahead.
And you kill the cow, and then you put the cheese on the cow.
Guys, put your questions in the comments and hit like and subscribe.
Burger.
Yeah, like you're killing the mom after you made cheese.
And that stayed with you for 30 years.
Buttburger's like, I eat my kid's mom. What's the big deal? But do you put cheese all over her?
Right. Just whipped cream.
I eat my kid's mom too, but I don't.
Oh, Jesus.
Late night finance junkies. All right, questions. Where can we see Vitaly's film work? Vitaly, do you want to give it up where we see it?
IMDb. You can search for all my stuff.
Okay.
What's your last name, Vitaly? We can't really.
Boxer.
Really? Your last name is Boxer?
BOKSER, right?
BOKSER. You can search for it on IMDb. There's some stuff on Amazon you can watch. I'm sure it's on lots of places.
Top 3 business books. Let's each give one if you can't think of 3. What's one business book you like? You can't say Intelligent Investor.
Hold on. Let me take out my Robert Kiyosaki collection.
Robert Kiyosaki. Stock market is a scam.
I got a lot of books that I can recommend.
Okay, mine's 0 to 1. I'm taking that one because I love that one. It's a great book. Great book. I read it. I read it in 2018 and I forgot all about it. And then I read it again in 2021. I was like, oh, now I understand what you're saying.
Let's see. I'm going to go to my
Chris,
book collection.
You're muted, my guy.
This is one of my favorites right here. The Boglehead's Guide to Investing. It's freaking awesome.
Pretty much talks man personal finance.
No, it's not from him specifically, but no, it pretty much goes into index investing and what you should be looking at and how to position your portfolio so that you can maximize on returns based on that. So it's a really, for a lot of novice investors, this is great because a segment of your portfolio should always be in index funds because the index funds tend to outperform the market generally. So in certain aspects, I like the book because it gives you an idea of where you should position your portfolio when you're earlier in life. And then after that, you can take some risks here and there. But yeah, it's awesome. I love it. One of my favorite books.
I'll give 2 if you want to hear them. 100 Baggers. That's interesting to read about how stocks do 100x. Sort of like Enphase and Tesla, those kinds of stocks. And the other one is, let me give something pretty good. I suggest everyone read something simple. It's called The Little Book of Big Dividends. And if you were interested in dividend investing, and it's a simple book to read, help you out there.
Yeah, and one last one for me, Mastering the Market Cycle by Howard Marks. I read all of Howard Marks's memos. Amazing to read, really gives you in-depth information on how you should be positioning yourself based on the market conditions that are out there. So great book. Really look up Howard Marks' stuff. If you want to invest in some of his funds, they've pretty much done a very good job of outperform. I wouldn't say they've always outperformed the market, but they've done a fairly good job over the last 20 years. And he does primarily value investing and then also like special situations investing. And yeah, one of my favorite guys on Wall Street.
I didn't know Bitcoin was over 30K now.
It just crossed 30K.
What? Bitcoin already.
Yeah, I just got the
Boom.
Wow,
Ooh,
look at that,
awesome.
everybody. Hold on, let me move you guys out of the way.
Can you bring up a chart real quick? Oh yeah, there we
There's
go.
Bitty
I guess that's good. Hey, producer wife, we can have that deck now.
This is what I'm saying. Like these things just happen, and people.
I actually like it like this. This is a great way to do the show. This is like this is
That's
great.
messed up. I didn't know you can do that.
Oh
Look,
shit!
every time someone's talking, I could just move them here. This is great.
That's
We
cool.
should do a show like this one day, just see what it looks like.
This is like that's like the digital soul train line.
Okay, just answer the
Welcome
question.
everybody to the Finance Junkies. On our panel today, we have Vitaly, Carlos, and Chris. Okay. Microsoft or Amazon?
Amazon.
I'm with Vitaly Amazon. I think Amazon's got a lot of revenue drivers ahead of it, and also operating income that they're able to derive that Microsoft may be a little bit frothy in that end, but Amazon right now, you take AWS growth, ads growth, also their third-party seller network, the revenue that they get from that, and now some of the cutbacks in capex. You've got a cash flow monster in Amazon. Yeah, Amazon all day.
The AI stuff from Microsoft doesn't excite you enough to buy them over?
It does, but it's going to be a while before they're really able to capitalize. So they're already at $2 billion market cap.
2.9
Amazon,
billion.
yeah, Amazon right now is I think almost $1 trillion, but they've got almost like $500 million in total revenue.
But you get that nice Microsoft dividend while you wait.
That's true too. That's true too.
That's
What's the yield on that? It's like 3%, maybe.
It's annual is like it's 0.94. What does that pay out per share? Let me see.
Okay, so here's one mistake that I made early in my career that I hope no one makes. Okay, when you look at dividends, like sometimes I look at dividends and I'm like, oh, that's just a low dividend. It's only 1%, 2% dividend. I'm not going to buy that. But if you think about it, if a company's been growing their dividend nonstop for the last 10, 20 years, by the time you look 10 years later, if you bought in early, that 1% dividend ends up being almost like a 20% dividend in the future. Because remember, that dividend is going to grow.
That's the law of the compounding interest. However long it takes your portfolio to double on the dividends, it's going to be half that to double again, then half that to double again. We did a whole video on that, a dividend calculator. So if it takes 7 years for your position to double, then it's going to double again in 3.5, then double again a year and a half from there.
So dividend investing, when you get paid dividend money, usually the way you compound is you buy more dividends with that money, and that increases your compounding. Plus, they're increasing. Usually, good companies will increase the rate that they pay you at. So the percent will go, let's say, from, like you said, it'll go from 1% to 1.2. Well, that's a 20% increase. Do you know what I'm saying? So
now you may not see it because what happens is you're looking at the new price of the stock. So if the stock was $10 when you bought it and it paid a 10% dividend at the time, not 10%, like 1 or 2% dividend. If it goes to like $100, that dividend is $1. So think about it. Your cost basis was actually that $10 initially. And if they're giving $1 per year in dividend, that's a 10% yield that you're getting at the end. So if you're looking for dividend players, you want to look at dividend companies. Companies that pay dividends over a long period of time that have had a lot of growth in it. And also they've been able to maintain their dividend payments over a long period of time. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
S&P 500 or VTI if you have to pick an ETF?
VOO.
Yeah, VOO.
Or VOO. Okay. I think we got one more here. Oh, yeah, CPI. What do we think? Do we think it's hot on Wednesday?
Down.
Let's give a number. I think 5.5.
One word answers only. Down.
I think 5.5. Chris, you think 5.4, 5.6?
So let's see my prediction from.
Oh yeah,
November.
you have these tweeted.
Yep, check it out. So this was my prediction. I put this out like around November, and they've been pretty accurate. Only about 1 to 2 points off most of the time. So according to my calculator, we're looking at a 5.4%, but actually might be around based on the Cleveland Nowcast. It might be like 5.2, believe it or not. Let me just double check.
How are you generating those figures?
I put it into like I had a formula that I created on spreadsheet with some
okay.
regressive formulas, and so it was just a lot of it was just assumption based, but yeah, I took it and just formulated the shit out of it. So
okay, can you put it back on? Where did you see where did you mark the peak?
let me see. Hold on 1 second.
For Matt, he says, "Are you guys not concerned about a bad recession?" We talked about it at the top. We don't think it's going to get to like S&P 3000, but we do think things are a little overvalued right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just don't think that the bottom's come out yet. I think that this is me. I mean, I'll go on record. Mid-May, this thing starts to tank. But I do think the Santa Claus rally that we see this year is going to be epic.
I agree. So we're looking at about 5.4 for March, like about 5 for April, and then it just continues down.
So it's June last year was the peak, 9.1.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to dramatically decrease at any point to like under 2 this year. I think a lot of people were expecting it to get under 2, and I was just like, I think there's no way mathematically. Next year, definitely real possibility, but this year, hell no. Just not going to happen.
Yeah, but that already shows a trajectory.
2.7 in December. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, which is believe it or not that unheard of considering all the stimulus that's been out there. The biggest thing with my calculator was just how much drawdown in stimulus that we have. If the government steps in and keeps stimulating via things like the Inflation Reduction Act and all this other stuff to support the economy, then my calculator means worthless. It means shit. It's not going to do anything. The federal government has to kind of, and that's the other thing. We might have a standoff this May. Was it May or June with the debt ceiling? You know, that might be actually another thing to worry about because markets are not going to like that. If just imagine right now if the U.S. were to
government shutdown,
like. And this year is probably the year, if there was a year that was going to happen, this might be the actual year because of all the fucking shit going on with Trump and then Biden just kind of being there. So, yeah, it's one of those things. I don't know. Not a good
Trump
not
just
a good place.
existing. Yo, speaking of which, I got this letter in the mail today, and I want to know if you guys have this at all. I'm just getting rid of my address. Can you see this? Let me see if there's anything personal information in here. You see this?
You are seeing this letter because you have not activated your middle class tax refund.
Have you guys gotten that?
No,
that sounds like BS.
No, this isn't official. It's official. Like it's from the franchise tax board, which is where you pay your state taxes to, California. So apparently they mailed everyone a card, and you qualify for like a middle class tax.
But doesn't California have a surplus? They were giving money back to people.
I don't know. They want to San Francisco. They want to give people houses for $1. I mean, this place is crazy. It's
what if your accountant would handle that anyway? So
yeah, but I didn't get it. It says you're getting this because we see that you haven't cashed it in. It was mailed to you between October and January. I was like, I don't remember getting this card. So I called today and then I couldn't get it. But
they're like, it's $19.99 to get this card.
I'm like, yeah.
just pay for shipping.
Did you guys get that? Did you guys get that as part of like the IRA or something? Was there this like middle class relief thing?
I'm not in the middle class. I'm in the lower class. So
actually, no. I think 50 grand is.
Ahmed's
got
that
middle class.
It's not middle class, bro.
What is middle class? Let's look this up.
Yeah, but you're single. You have to understand, you're single, so you'd be at 100,000 with your teacher wife.
Okay, middle class income.
Bro, I'm gonna marry a fucking
teacher wife.
I want a teacher wife.
Okay, technically, listen to this. American families earning between $47,000 and $141,000 are technically in the middle class. So you're in the middle class. Congratulations.
A family of 4, 47 is middle class.
Apparently, for the United States, that's what is considered.
Yeah, but you have to take into consider locality. I mean, in New York City, if you're making $50K, that's minimum wage at that point. I mean, it's not minimum wage, but you that's like the bare minimum you would need to not. I don't even think you could afford to have your own apartment in New York if you were making $50K a year.
But $50K though,
most of those apartments are like
your rent.
Hold on, $50K for you is like actually $100K because you don't really pay rent. You don't really have gas bills, electric bills, oil.
Yeah, you live
bills.
with your parents.
Yeah.
So I just technically make 100,000. Congratulations, you're officially in the middle class. Well, yeah,
I actually made more than
their money on rent.
There was some money that never went through official means of showing up as income. So
it was like
I kind of made like 63 to be honest, but.
Yeah, great. Good. Announce it on the damn podcast, right? With Biden hiring 80,000 new goddamn IRS workers.
You don't think Palantir has scrubbed this conversation and sent that info to
Are
the
you
IRS?
saying that because I look like I'm Arab? Is that why you think is that why you think Palantir is targeting? Yo, do you guys really believe these 87,000 IRS agents are going to come after someone who made 50K? Like, do you think
that would be the point? But I think Republicans blocked it. That was
Oh,
like
they
the
did, didn't they?
Yeah. They're the first thing that I forgot. Oh, it was when they switched power. The first thing that what's his name when he became the speaker.
Wait, hold on.
First thing he did was get rid of that.
What do you mean? Hiring the additional agents?
He canceled that whole everything he
Kevin
wanted to do with the
McCarthy,
IRS.
right?
It was the first one of the first things he did. He got
Yes,
rid of-
bro. Yo, sometimes I love these fucking Republicans, bro. Look
Exactly.
So the transformation is complete.
Yeah, right.
He's like,
No, I'm almost there too. I'm ready to vote Trump.
House Republicans rescind. Yes, let's fucking go. That's amazing.
Yeah, we definitely don't need more IRS agents. That's one thing we don't need in this country.
No, we don't need them. What do you think of a flat tax? A one-page flat tax, 25%?
That's never going to happen first.
No, but what do you, I'm saying, what do you think of it as a concept? As like, would that be better for you? I mean, it would be better for me.
No, I think I actually like, as a true libertarian, maybe I like the sales tax in terms of when you use something, when you buy something, you should pay tax on it. I don't think there should be an income tax.
I agree with that. I agree. I don't think that there should be an income tax.
But isn't that the way we fund most of everything is income tax? Like the $4 trillion.
No, because the government, the federal government does not use your taxes. They get money from the Fed, and your taxes pay back the interest on that.
Right, but they still need to pay back the interest, so that still happens. But my point is, I just drove to the city today. I went over 16 bridges and tunnels, and I paid for every single one.
That's so true.
Honestly, that must.
Why did I spend like $60 on bridges and tunnels? No, it's a lot.
Dude, that is the biggest highway robbery you
can.
It's
a total scam,
literally.
Dude,
so I'm already paying taxes for using.
What does it cost now? I haven't been there. I haven't lived in New York.
$20. I think the Holland Tunnel is like $20 or something.
That's only one tunnel.
That's
only one.
Wait, what is the battery tunnel? What is the battery tunnel, and what does the Verrazano cost right now?
You want me to tell you what I could go to my actual New Jersey? How much I actually spend? Easy Pass is a bit cheaper. By the way.
I just want to know because look, when I was working in like 99, 2000, we were paying $18 to go into Staten Island, right?
Oh, it's more than that. It's like 20.
And that was a commercial vehicle. So I was like, my God, 20.
Let me see. Holland.
Hey, look at this, bro. I paid $12.75. I was going upstate New York. I paid $9.61 going. I paid almost $40 just going upstate.
But what were you on that was the Grand, not the Grand Central, was the Garden State Parkway?
Yeah.
What were you taking?
A little bit, it was Garden State Parkway.
That's a pretty expensive one. But what I like about that highway is you pay for the distance you drive on it. That's really cool. Like it's not like it tracks it reads your Easy Pass twice.
You know what the problem with these things is the original plan for the toll was that it would pay back for the bridge itself and maybe some of the upkeep for it. But dude, they've turned this into a fucking slush fund for constant projects. Like and you look at the cost of any of these major projects in New York, and it's in the freaking like it's 10 times, maybe even 20 times more expensive than what countries are building for their entire country's infrastructure. Like the 2nd Avenue subway in New York City is like the biggest example of so much fraud, waste, and abuse that you could have had, man. It's the MTA, if you look at it, can you guys explain to me one thing? And maybe the chat, you guys can explain, what do the toll booth operators do now? They don't fucking do Metro card. They don't do fucking tokens like back in the day. They just sit there. I saw someone
they said when they switched to that model, they explained what that was.
Well, they mail you the thing now. It's all
they're now like station managers. They just sit in there, but they're meant to like roam the station.
No. I'm saying like
rats,
the subway. You know, they don't do anything, dude. Every time I'm there, this lady is just fucking Candy Crushing it the entire time, and then she's making like fucking $20-$30 an hour. I'm trying to figure out how I could get her job, dude.
She's not making 20 an hour, bro. There's no way she's making
they're making,
bro,
and they get
she's
great
making
benefits,
more. They're making more than that, dude.
Benefits.
Okay, so give me the bull case on the 87,000 agents. What was the reason?
You guys are still talking.
They wanted to collect. I don't know how many billions of dollars that they were in uncollected taxes yearly, and they wanted to make sure that they go after it.
They were 87,000 agents to collect unpaid tax revenue. And the goal was they were going to like go through all these tiny businesses making
the amount of audits was going to ramp up significantly. Like one of the things that my accountant told me, he's like, when you're doing your taxes and you're figuring things out, he's like, you got to understand the average person that's actually looking at your taxes on the other end makes $29,100 a year. And he's like, so we have to make your taxes look good to a person that's making that. So if you're making over, say, 100,000 and you're claiming poverty to that person, they're going to be, they're going to come after you because they're like, you're making 3 times what I'm making and you can't pay taxes. So it's like, it's by design, right? But the 87,000 new IRS agents would literally meant to just go after everyone and increase.
Wouldn't it make sense to just hire like 2,000 and go after the bigger corporations that use too many loopholes? Wouldn't that make?
But the
problem that
they're filing
to get money, like legit.
The thing
money.
is, they can fight it though. That's the thing. Like, if you have a real good accounting team, they can actually go and fight you tooth and nail to the point where you're gonna back off. Like, they have enough resources that they can infinitely fight the government to the point where the government ends up losing money.
Like, right. 87,000 was meant to like reduce income inequality, is just fucking over poor people that don't have a good accounting team.
No, the problem is that there's so much fraud, waste, and abuse at so many levels. And it's how the economy, I suppose, works. But like, here's an example, like PPP, right? You're looking at all these stories with PPP right now where people were fucking getting PPP loans and buying expensive cars with them. I mean, if you look at Atlanta's littered right now with luxury cars that were bought with PPP loans. People were literally creating LLCs overnight, saying they have 100 employees and getting a shit ton of money in PPP loans, and all of them were forgiven. You know, it's like, I know even Indian people, what they were doing was they were getting PPP loans and then fucking buying gold and storing it on the side, but they were operating their business at the same time. So the reason for the PPP loan was that it would protect you, the paycheck protection, so you didn't have to lay people off. But they were taking these loans and just pocketing that shit, and they were still making people work. You know, the people were getting, it was just a very, it was just such a wasteful thing. But it's good that it came out. Like, here's an example. Ross Gerber, he's a millionaire, right? He took PPP loans. You know, he doesn't feel bad about it.
Why wouldn't you? Like, even like, if I have a chance to get a loan at a cheaper rate and use that money, right? It's not income anymore. Like, if you have 10 million in Tesla stock right now and you get a margin loan for $1 million, like, you didn't make any money that year. There's no income. Yeah, you're paying whatever you're paying on the interest on the loan.
That's the thing. The original intended purpose. Well, here's the thing, though, Vitaly and Carlos. They forgave those loans.
Don't
that's
put
the
me
thing.
into this.
Yeah, okay, that's true.
Nobody forgave me.
I meant to say Carlos, but they forgave all those loans. It was like, oh yeah, you owe this much. Don't worry about it. We got you. So they turned a loan pretty much into like a grant. You know.
Yeah, no, it's messed up. Okay, so let's wrap this up.
Vitaly's so sleepy. It's barely been an hour, bro. He's so tired.
It's enough.
All right, we got to go to bed because Vitaly. I'm gonna be up for like the next 4 hours doing work, but Vitaly's got to.
Yeah,
Indian people love gold. So. That's very racist, SJ.
No, it's not racist.
No, dude. Indian people.
I thought it was leprechauns.
Maybe. Right now, the biggest benefit of the price of gold going up.
Oh
is
no!
Indian
Don't
people.
start Chris off. He never stops. Friggin' Jesus Christ. Okay.
Vitaly's, you're like that angry uncle that's like,
they're like, come on, kids, get off my porch. I'm trying to go to sleep.
I know, if you guys want to keep chatting. Okay, I'll see y'all later.
I'll hear what you have to say about.
Yeah. We'll see you tomorrow, Vitaly.
All right, later, all. Have a good one. Bye.
Nah, just Indian people in general, like it's a part of our traditions to use a lot of gold during weddings and ceremonies. And so we even we don't gift each other just cash. Most of the time when you go to when you go to like a wedding,
loaf of gold.
No. It's like jewelry. Like, you give jewelry. Like, my brother-in-law, my cousin is getting married in India in this December. So I'm probably going to go. And one of the things is might have to buy some gold to give to them, because that's how it is. Like, everyone is always just buying gold and giving that as a gift.
I mean, it makes sense.
And a lot of
in November for my friend's wedding as well.
Yeah, and a lot of family wealth in India is actually stored in gold. So I don't know. It's just people love gold. Like, there's actually a temple in India. I don't know if you guys know this, but it has like a mountain of gold in there. Not like, I'm not just saying a figure. I'm saying literally it is a mountain of gold.
Like Scrooge McDuck, like swimming in chips of gold.
Yeah, it's I think it was like $5-6 billion worth of gold that was found.
That's insane.
Yeah, dude.
Gold,
Here,
bro.
let me show you.
That's a lot of gold.
I'm working on a project right now that's based in Egypt, and so I'm looking at a lot of footage and interviews. And yes, everything out there.
Yeah,
It's gold,
bruh.
$1 trillion hidden treasure chamber.
So
Not so hidden. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call that hidden.
No, it was you have to look up the history on it, but basically it was hidden in the temple's like catacombs and stuff, right? But it's like hundreds of thousands of gold coins from like all the way back as the Roman Empire, right? There's like almost a 2,000 pound hoard of gold coins. I'm telling you, that's like, it's crazy the amount of gold. And there's still like some parts of the temple chambers that they haven't even opened up. And it's literally, there's just gold and shit in there. India was probably one of the most richest countries in the world at one point. I think it had the largest GDP, largest economy. Like India, there's like diamonds everywhere, like gold everywhere in India. A lot of it was looted, of course, by the British, by the Mughals back when they were around. But yeah, Indian people in general have they have a large affinity to gold.
That's the idea of old money. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That's it for us. Thank you all for being here. We'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah. Now it's Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Now we gotta start Bitcoin in the
Let's
basement.
I don't know, man.
Sustain 30K. We gotta see.
No, I think Indian people have banned Bitcoin, by the way. I don't know if you know this, but yeah, India banned cryptocurrencies actually.
That's not fair to the Indian people, actually. Wait, they can't own it, but they can mine it, right?
I don't think so. No, I think it's illegal to own any crypto in India. But I'm not 100% sure on that, but let me just look it up.
So there's no Coinbase in India? Interesting.
Nope.
Coinbase, crypto mining in India is a tad bit difficult, but it is not impossible. In India, there's a gray area that does not entirely fall under the ambit of the government rule and regulation, but that doesn't make the work necessarily illegal in India. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I just figured, man, with all that sun, put up some solar panels and just run that.
Run the crypto mine.
Yeah, run that thing all day.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Boys. Always a pleasure.
Be here
Later.
10 p.m. tomorrow. Good night, everybody.
Bye.